In glycolysis, the process that takes place inside a cell, glucose, represented here by the starburst with 2 ATP, breaks down into 2,3 carbon molecules called pyruvate, and during this process, 2 NAD pluses enter the cycle, coming out as 2 NADHs, and we have a total net gain of 2 pyruvates, 2 NADHs, and 2 ATP.
Through glycolysis, the two pyruvates turn into two carbon dioxides, two acetaldehydes, and two NADHs, and the two acetaldehydes react with the two NADHs to make ethanol. For lactic acid fermentation, the pyruvate directly reacts with the NADHs to produce lactic acid.
2 pyruvates from glycolysis enter the mitochondria and lose 1 carbon in the form as carbon dioxide. And then you add it to the 2 carbons is CoA, represented by the starburst, which forms acetyl-CoA as well.
Acetyl-CoA then enters the Krebs cycle, also known as the citric acid cycle, and then the starburst, which represents CoA, is removed and 2 carbon dioxides are produced. Then FAD, represented by the yellow sour patch, goes into the cycle and FADH2 is produced. Then 3 NADH pluses are added into the cycle and 3 NADH are produced. Then 2 inorganic phosphates and 2 ADP are added, and 2 ATP are produced. Then another acetyl-CoA enters the cycle and it continues. So far, the 4 ATP molecules that have been made through the substrate level phosphorylation, and this represents an enzyme. This is the inorganic phosphate, and this is the ADP, which then turns into ATP and one enzyme.
So the resulting FADH2 molecules and NADH molecules from the citric acid cycle then enter the electron transport chain located in the cristae of the inner mitochondrial membrane. The 2 molecules enter the first protein and leave as NAD plus and FAD, which leaves their electrons to be transported down the electron transport chain into oxygen, which then turns into H2O. While the electrons are going down the electron transport chain, it's producing hydrogen H plus atoms in the intermembrane space, and the concentration gradient is such that there is a higher concentration of H plus in the intermembrane space than in the mitochondrial matrix, and the only way for it to diffuse down its gradient is through ATP synthase, and ATP is made through ATP synthase.